we here, and we back at it again. Shout out to everybody coming in, like I always say, for the win. All right, so basically, just have an understanding. A lot of people want to hit the lottery. The lottery just hit $1.1 billion for the mega, and the Powerball is at 938 million, I believe, or 989 million. One of the two. Shout out, boss lady in the building. And the crazy part about, the lottery is when it comes down to it, a lot of people want to hit the lottery. A lot of people want the money, but it's only can be one winner. So, basically, these are some things that you need to know, need to be doing once you hit the lottery. Because, truth be told, if you never had this much money before, it's gonna be kind of crazy with you just coming in all this money. I mean, have an understanding. I've turned my mic back a little bit. I've pretty much like been in a situation where I came into large sums of money, or I worked and had big paychecks, and two things happened. I either saved the money and did things with them, or I pretty much just blew through that money. And typically, what's going on, country? Typically, you always have this situation all the time due to the fact that when you've never had money, having abundance of money at one time, it changes your mindset to that scarcity mentality to feeling like a winner to where you want to spend, spend, spend. I mean, have an understanding. They made rap songs, movies, being broken, never had, living my best life, all these things, you know, rags to riches. Even the Mike Jones back then, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. All these different things pretty much showing like from a status of not having, coming up poor and being wealthy. Biggie Smalls. He talked about it. More money, more problems. Rags to riches. You know, and these are the key things. Like when you hit the lottery, a lot of people are going to be at you. They're going to be trying to get money from you. So the biggest form of, when you first hit the lottery is don't let everybody know. Try to be anonymous as, if you can. Cynical one in the building. Have it to a point to where you just, you know, remain anonymous. If the lottery doesn't want you to remain anonymous, there's some things that you can do to offset that. Sometimes they will want you. Majority places they want you to come get the check, sign it over to a corporation, sign it over to a lawyer. But the best thing above all this is try to remain anonymous as possible. So when you get into a situation to where everybody's hungry and trying to get your money, they won't know. And like I said, if you do come to a point, um, I think I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all my secret to where if I hit the lottery, this what I'm gonna do in order for myself to remain anonymous. The thing is for me, I'm going to get a bodysuit, and I'm gonna get a silicone mask, or if I don't do the silicone mask with the paints with the face paint and all that stuff. So you'll never know it's me. Like I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a roster or something. Like you'll never know it's me if I hit the lottery. Like people see my face, like see right there, there's my face right there. If I wasn't driving, I'd put the camera on, but I'm driving. So but and then I have my camera turned backwards anyway. So you would never know it's me. I will shave off and have the baby face, so it's easier for me to put a lace front beard on. Like you'll literally never know it's me. When I win, you would never know it's me. Hey, Prashad, what's going on with you? So to the point, remaining anonymous is key for you to kind of keep your winnings because overall, having that much money at one time, you're gonna have everybody from family members, friends, long distance cousins, old co-workers. Everybody's gonna come at you for money. There's gonna be companies, startup companies, trying to get money for their business. There's gonna be eco-friendly companies that's gonna try to get development for saving the glaciers, saving the penguins. All these different type of companies, different type of business, different type of charities are gonna be always coming at you for money. So try to remain anonymous as possible. If need be, there's some other key things. If you have to go and sign for the check, move like whatever you have in that house, pretty much move it out. Don't even go back to that house. To a degree, you want to make sure you have somewhere to stay from your house already. Like get you some money if you could. Go find a rental property. Soon as you hit before you claim, go get a rental property. Find it somewhere nobody knows, to where you can do a month to month lease or something that can benefit you, so you won't, be in a situation. Um, Primarily, you want to try to get into a situation to where nobody pretty much know it's you. All right, going into the second rule of thumb, um, wait to get the cash. Most lotteries hold a ticket for anywhere from 6 months to 12 months. You have a year to claim your prize, but majority of the time they want you to claim as fast as possible. Take time. Don't just get the winnings right away, because there's some things that you have to do before. Personally, I say, and most people who are rich say the same thing. Personally, they want you to try to, go ahead, figure out your winnings to the point where you're getting someone to help you um excuse me, overall with your winnings. So, and I'm gonna go into part three with this. Um I would say doing like the Avengers, getting you assimilating you a team, pretty much everybody from your lawyer, your financial advisor, getting a good accountant. All these key people are going to help you. And the reason why you have multiple people, because it's like a check and balance system. You know, the lawyer's going to be looking over these people. The accountant's going to be looking over these people. You might even have to throw another accountant, or another lawyer in the mix, because, my thing is, when getting that type of money, I've seen horror stories where the lawyers and everybody else came at these people, took their winnings and hid it from them. The accounting was sneaking money. Prime example, Dennis Rodman. His accounting was robbing him and other celebrity basketball players for years, and nobody never knew. What's going on, Cool Gamer? And nobody never really knew, because the way she did the books, these guys weren't checking their bank accounts because they had millions. They had multiple bank accounts. So there was accounts that they had money in, and nobody really never knew. So it was to the point where basically they were just balling out of control. Another thing, you know, amongst you getting your good advisors or lawyers, things, assimilating your Avenger program, to help you with your money, you want to also think about not balling out. Not balling out. When you get the money, let's say you actually get the money the next day and it hits your account, paying your taxes up, you paid all the fees to the things that you get. Let's say you hit $20 million hit your account. Don't go out the next day and get a Ferrari. Don't go out the next day house shopping. I mean, literally with cash, you can close on a house in 15 days. You know, I've heard of people that did it, so that's how I kind of reference knew about that. Dealing with some brokers, that the brokers were letting me know. that this is obtainable when you have money. You can close on a house in 15 days versus the 45 and days or close to. If you have any hiccups, most people like 2 months with buying a house. Depends on the hiccups you have, you know, back and forth with the contracts and things. But it's real easy to close on a house that fast when you have money. And then focusing in on the situation too is spending that money. It goes pretty quick. Statistically, they said pretty much to a degree that people who hit the lottery, 70% of them spend majority of all their winnings within the first 5 years. So you hit the lottery today, 5 years from now, you're technically gonna be broke due to the fact that they always have it that when it comes down to it, majority of the people who hit the lottery, they spend so much of it, they pretty much put themselves in a situation of being broke. And that's crazy to, have all that money and pretty much in the end lose it all like that. One moment. It's pretty much a situation to where, when it's all said and done, it comes from poor management of your money, not knowing how to, like I say, technically having all that money at one time and being able to deal with it. And that's a situation in which, bad for you. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. People keep calling me. But pretty much when you at a situation where people are always, coming after you trying to get your money, and it's best to have a financial advisor that you can deal with and ultimately have your best interest, because needless to say, a lot of people get into having all this money and they pretty much get to a point of not being able to trust people for the most part, because you have to literally understand, when you're in a situation, a lot of people pretty much, it's hard to trust them due to the fact that when they don't have money and they see an opportunity, it's within their best interest to try to get over on you and get your money. So that's the key thing that you got to look at. Like I say, with most people who have financial advisors, they typically have two or three, read them out and try to deal with the ones they can trust. But then to a degree, they don't trust them as well because they technically have other people watching over them. I'm gonna start running through these pretty quick so I can jump off of here. Um, Another thing, budget out. I mean, if you have a party, it's without a shadow of a doubt, you're gonna spend some money, and spending some money pretty much put yourself in a situation to where you pretty much have to understand that spending some money is key, but don't go all out. Have a budget, for the party. Don't spend like luxuriously, but to the degree, put yourself in a situation to where, you know, you're not doing $1 million party. Just because you have the money, don't mean you necessarily have to spend all the money. And situations at hand in Mills, what's going on with you? A lot of people typically have all this money, and to a degree, they think it's never going to run out. And that's another situation to where, people are always thinking like, man, I'm a millionaire. It's not going to be a problem. I'm going to always have millions. And that's another key thing. Setting up an emergency fund because when it comes down to it, there's going to be a lot of money that's going to be going in and out of your account. I always talk about this person with Alonzo's channel. There was a guy who ran into a lot of money through his parents passing and having, life insurance. Guy got $4.3 million and blew through the money in a year and a half. So not having that type of money and not being able to know what to do with it is really harmful to people to having all that money and nobody's really telling you or helping you to budget your money. Like him having a financial advisor, he would have never went through this issue. With him sitting down and talking to someone with his last couple hundreds of thousands, it was a little bit too late. And the number one thing, I always talk about this, is having a budget. A lot of people typically, when they hit the lottery, like I say, they think the money will never ever run out. Having a budget is key. Literally putting yourself on a budget the same way if you have no money or a little bit money, putting yourself at a budget to where I'm responsible about spending this much money. This money is dedicated to my bills. This money is dedicated to savings. And another thing with doing it that way, you will have the money over time to do things with. And a lot of people, that's their issue with having all that money. They pretty much just keep spend. Having a point to where you're able to, buy things that you need, focus on some things that you want, but more or less buy things that you truly need. Helping people if you want to give to charities and donate, that's the key as well. But mainly having the money later on is the big point. And a lot of times, when you hit the lottery, the key thing is actually having people in your corner. Let's say you're married, you have a husband or a wife. Are they technically good with money? You have to sit down with them, get them an understanding. Hey, just because we have this type of money doesn't mean we're going to spend and ball like this all the time. You know, and then another form of dealing with your kids. It's best to not tell your kids to a degree because they're gonna want everything and there's no excuse. As a couple I've seen, they got millions of dollars, uh, multiple investment properties and real estate and everything, and their kids look at them as being rich. So anything they want, they typically don't get. They look at the parents as having an issue of why can't you do this? So what's wrong with you? Like I want this. Why can't I have this? Because you have the money, you should be giving it to me, no problem. But like I say, rule of hand, having those issues. But needless to say, like I said, if you hit the lottery, hopefully you will enjoy it. Hopefully you will be responsible and work to your best benefit and interest. With that being said, shout out to everybody that came through. Once again, you know what I always say, we here and we gone. Peace.